President Trump tonight saluting Air Force Academy cadets after firing back at any suggestion that Russia helped him become commander-in-chief.
Russia did not help me get elected. You know who got me elected? You know who got me elected? I got me elected. Russia didn't help me at all.
But earlier he attacked what he called the witch hunt hoax, tweeting, "I had nothing to do with Russia helping me to get elected." It was the first time he appeared to agree with the Mueller report's conclusion that Russia tried to help candidate Trump through a disinformation campaign and by hacking Democratic emails. The president again blasting Mueller.
I think he is a total conflicted person. I think Mueller is a true never-Trumper.
But according to the Mueller report, former advisor Steve Bannon told the president his claims that Mueller was conflicted were ridiculous and petty. The president also touting that Mueller did not charge him with any crime.
So he said, essentially, you're innocent. I'm innocent of all charges.
Here's what Mueller actually said.
If we had had confidence that the president clearly did not commit a crime, we would have said so.
And Attorney General William Barr tells CBS he believes Mueller could have offered a conclusion on obstruction of justice, despite the longstanding Justice Department policy that forbids indicting a sitting president.
The opinion says you cannot indict a president while he's in office, but he could have reached a decision as to whether it was criminal activity.
Tonight, the drumbeat of Democrats calling for impeachment proceedings is growing, a move the president says should not be allowed.
To me, it's a dirty word, the word impeach. It's a dirty, filthy, disgusting word, and it had nothing to do with me. There was no high crime and there was no misdemeanor. So how do you impeach based on that?
Peter joins us now. Peter, the president also talked today about a major announcement he says is coming about the border. What do you hear?
Yeah, Savannah, that's right. The president is reportedly preparing to threaten Mexico with new tariffs to force that country to crack down on the surge of Central American migrants seeking asylum here in the U.S. But the Washington Post reports tonight that some White House aides are arguing against it, warning the threat could jeopardize the new trade deal with Mexico and Canada.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.